Mamo kwa ba emra POG Media so share so mam say first time I will be remnia obeti my hit on the notification bell. Subscribe to the channel, share, comment based on the story now. Ye ka ho asem no. Na afi channel no intimi emfa na ho wadin enye de nkra. Political stories are a trend here. E jawum, hitum, and I EDB a sum or channel so. Nene enkomo a EDA LBTQ plugs. Bila Parliament a passe ye train President Akufo-Addo say obitim dininsa ahyase amana abaye emra. Na US government nso etimi dinano atumbi na asema okan edifa sa bill yi hu so man pen ho asem na odinsa ahyase a ene obum mmoa akodo bebre so a Ghana ebehwere yen. International aid from United States Ghana insa intimi enkemi. Yamunwram yentie nsema emrofo no eka. We ebobo mampanyi hu ama wasesa na dwen. Anase wo hu ni se obekoso atoaso se obesan ama na bayemra. Mamdo adwenkyere. Fashion comment section ho mami. Na afi share emadwumadi no emfa no tuma pe infra. Share no so mami se ahasi a POG Media.
Could I take you to Africa for a few?
Yeah.
Ghana, I know there was a statement that you issued last night on the anti-LGBTQ bill. Just to follow up on that, if my understanding is that the president, Akufo-Addo, hasn't signed it yet, are there talks with Ghana trying to stop this from becoming law? And if it comes to fruition, is there a sense of what the repercussions, if any, could be for the U.S.?
So we have made very clear what our opinion is on that law. You can look at my statement yesterday, and we have made that clear in private conversations with the government of Ghana as well. I don't think I should get any more specific than that, but if this bill becomes law, it would certainly have a chilling effect on foreign investment and tourism in Ghana. You've seen that same chilling effect bear fruit in Uganda, which passed a very similar law in the past. And I can say that should the bill pass, it would potentially have ramifications on U.S. assistance in the country.
Sure. Just a couple more on Africa.
Yeah.
LBTQ plugs. Home bill Parliament etimi apase ye twen omanpan se ono so baye na famodie e na yidi hu nkomayi na international communities na kasa omati supin se omanpan nim ordinance a hye mare sidia ene na yenka hu se impo omutima emufu a omoban hwera nsrahwe e wo Ghana ha se no Ghana anyade ya ibenya bi efri omo se tourist party yin free monetary aid sesi kasem yeko amanoni akopemwa Ghana yam forget it kra yani yan kaseti memufu ni bi nso ebonyo so kra ebi di omsa esumubu akan plane se omanpanyin di nsa ehya ase dia ene na etitia timamufu no fa hudi so papa yo ye lawyer tisuampa wo hwe nsema emrofo yika ene yani yanka setimamufu bi enso ekan ebobo ne ho ana mamanyo adwenkyere POG Media soni share na foforo ensant ntumi enkabi emame.
Welcome to Eyewitness News.
Thank you, and thank you for having me on.
Listening to what happened in Parliament and considering your views before the bill was passed, what's your reaction immediately having heard that the House of Parliament has passed the bill against LGBTQ activities in Ghana?
Well, I must say that I wasn't surprised, even though I was disappointed. And the reason I say I wasn't surprised was that I have followed, and you rightly said, we opposed the bill right from when it was proposed. We sent, and it's a big 18 individuals who came together. We sent a memo to the parliamentary committee at the time, pointing out, we see that the bill went through a lot of revisions and amendments, but the essence of the bill still stands. It was our view, and it is still our view, as we indicated in a press statement we issued yesterday, that if the bill is passed, and we anticipated it will probably be passed today, it would be a sad day for our democracy, because the implications of the bill affect us all, not just people with a sexual orientation that we do not like.
The bill has gone through various stages. It took 3 years for the proponents and the opponents in the House to debate it, and there have been a lot of surgical operations conducted on the bill. In fact, the latest needles and syringes entered the bill today, and it has been made whole now in the eyes of the 275 MPs, and it has been passed. Are you saying that despite all the revisions and reviews that were done, the amendments that were done before the passage, the bill, in your view, is still unwholesome?
Absolutely, and without any question in my mind. You know, you said that the bill has gone through all of these things and it was passed by 275 people. Did you see the chamber? Did you see the chamber? I don't even think they had a quorum. It was an empty chamber that I was seeing from my TV screen.
The issue of quorum. Just a second. The issue of quorum is an issue of law, which can only arise when it has been raised. If it has not been raised, then it means there was no issue of quorum in the chamber.
Okay,
and since the speaker sat and no one challenged it, I don't think that matters. Again, it's been debated over 3 years. There would have been times there were maybe 100%, sometimes 17%, and all. I'm just trying to say that if there was an issue of no quorum, that's a legal matter that could have been raised. Since it has not been raised, the assumption now is that all 275 MPs were in the House and they approved it, whether or not you were on sick leave or not.
I'm correcting you. You can say that the bill has been passed, but I am correcting you. You cannot factually say all 275 people were in the House, because they were not.
But when the speaker put the question, we didn't hear anybody say no.
Yes, nor there.
Nobody said no.
Yes, but you know, I believe in factuality when you're reporting. 275 people were not in the House at the time that the motion was moved on the bill today. But it doesn't matter, does it? Parliament has passed the bill. The majority has had its say. And the reason that our position has not changed is that we think that in a democracy, it is not only what the majority wants that holds sway. It is protection of the rights of minorities. So when it comes to human rights, it's not an issue for the majority to approve or disapprove. You see, let me give you an example. If you go to certain communities, maybe now it may change a little bit, but at the time when we were fighting unlawful traditional practices, if you go into those communities, the majority will say, this is our tradition, let us do it. But does it conform to the Constitution? Does it? And does it protect the rights of minorities? That's what democracy is about. It's about having the majority rule on certain things, but there are strong constitutional provisions that protect the minority, including minority views. Look, even the provisions in our Constitution charge the state media to accommodate divergent views. It didn't say that if those divergent views have to do with people's sexual orientation, you shouldn't allow it to be expressed. But this bill will preclude them from accommodating divergent views. If I were you people in the media, I would read the bill, because we have, in part of our advocacy, we have gone around the country, and it is clear to us, because we asked specifically, hardly anybody has read this bill. Hardly. That's why there will be positions that will come as a shock to you. But that's where we are.
The publications that are making the rounds are suggesting that you are asking the president not to sign. If you were listening to us tonight, can you give reasons why you think the president should not sign the bill when it comes to his desk?
Yes, we are asking the president not to sign the bill for a plethora of reasons, which we stated in our press statement yesterday. We think that fundamentally, even though there's been a lot of revisions done to this bill, it still infringes on the rights and dignities of citizens who happen to have a different sexual orientation from the majority. We note that, the bill undermines our democratic principles as a country that has a constitution that promotes non-discrimination on many grounds, including on the grounds of gender. Okay? And gender, we cannot decide, means binary. Any scholar of gender knows that gender is more complicated than male and female. But the Constitution says you cannot discriminate on all kinds of grounds, religion, etc. The Constitution is a secular constitution. So religious people may have morals on certain things, and there's no problem. They should continue to pray for people. They should continue to try and converse people. They should continue in their own actions to persuade people, whatever they want to do. But you cannot have the state legislate on the grounds of morality and on religion. You cannot. Because we're a secular state. We're not a theocracy.
Are you going to go to the courts to prevent this?
Prevent what? We still go to
prevent the bill from maturing, or even if it matures, from killing it. Or would you go and try to kill it?
No, what we are going to court to do, because we know how the courts operate, is to wait. If, unfortunately, the president signs the bill into law, and we're asking him not to, and we think that the president, because of his human rights background and his legal background, knows how problematic this bill will be. For example, just by telling somebody that I see myself to have a certain identity, you stick me in jail. How is that possible? How is that possible? But they passed it. And I am telling you that they have passed it not because of anything, but for political reasons.
Explain the political reasons bit.
Yeah, let me tell you my motivation for saying that. And I'm happy to send you the video of Mr. Sam George, the chief proponent of the bill. In 2015, was it, when his candidate, his president, John Mahama, was being accused of having a friend who was a homosexual, sponsoring him, etc., etc. Sam George is on record as saying that the Constitution protects those rights. So I have to wonder, why did he change his tune? Why did he change his tune? And why aren't you, well, not you personally, but why isn't the media, particularly the medium in which he appeared, asking him to explain why his tune has changed? What has changed? 10 years ago, did he have a different morality from today, from 2021, when he proposed the bill? That's why I'm saying that it's just politics. They are walking over the bodies of vulnerable people. Because as for people of a sexual orientation, they know that there's a stigma to it. They know there's disapproval of it. So they are powerless. And that's why the Constitution is there. And that's why there are advocates like us to give these issues voice. That's what a democracy allows. But even in this bill, they want to stop that possibility that we have as democratic citizens. If you advocate, you can go to jail for 5 years. How is that? So there should be no debate. Once the bill is passed, we should be afraid, very afraid, because the principles in this bill can be misused for other minorities. Trust me, other minorities. Trust me. And when it comes, we will look up and say, how did we get here? And we got here because we all thought that because we are not of that sexual orientation, we don't know people of that sexual orientation, or they are not our friends, it's okay for them to be persecuted and prosecuted in law. We were silent. That's why we say a sad day for democracy.
Very well. Thank you so much for speaking to us, and thank you for the time.
For having me on. Thank you.
That's Professor Dedig, always maintained her position, her stance against
any Nkoma Ekoso about LBTQ plus no. First time I'll be Rema, who beats me a subscribe to the channel. Hit on the notification bell. Share. Next time we need to be tuma once one say to me akabi. Mama nyo adwentre. Based on Nkoma Ekoso no. The channel so mama say. Next time biano, ubu run it in so obehwe POG Media for political news.